The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio. It's the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. Check our friends out at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing, drink different. NFL draft coverage continuing here in the Sportsocracy, getting you prepped up for every pick in the NFL draft, which we will be having our live analysis of all 3 days of the draft starting this Thursday. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get all your draft prep. Share it with your friends as well. We got the helpful playlists of every team here in the channel. Now it's time for the Arizona Cardinals. Once the ginger over here famously said the best team in the NFC. This was last year. I think they're quickly on their way to becoming one of the best teams in the NFC. They're not even the best team in their own division, in my opinion, but that's a discussion for another time. They have all this set up for the NFL draft, their first pick at number 16 overall. I've seen a lot of mock drafts having them take an offensive lineman. Some people believe that that is their biggest need.
Those people are wrong. The biggest need this team has is a corner because they don't currently have one. I think they like Greg Newsome, the corner out of Northwestern, better than they like
any of the tackles?
Caleb Farley. Good Lord, have mercy.
All right.
That just went straight out of my head.
Greg Newsome, the cornerback out of Northwestern. I mean, the kid ran a 4.37 40 time. He's extremely fast.
Scheme versatile, very good player.
Plays the ball well.
He does. I think he can come in and be an immediate impact player in this league. I think in a lot of draft classes he'd be the number one corner. He's behind J.C. Horn. He's behind Patrick Surtain to me, but it's very close.
I like this pick for them. Add to that secondary. You're well on your way to having a pretty scary defense for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's keep going on the defensive side of the ball. Aleem McNeil, a defensive tackle out of NC State.
I like this kid a lot. He's got about as much explosion, about as much pop as you'll ever see from a 320-pound guy. I look at him on this defensive front. I think he can be a great help to J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones on the other side. All of the things that's happening on that defense. He comes in a little high. Leverage is not necessarily his friend, which you would think, being 6'2", 320, that it would be. I think as that improves, this is a guy that could ultimately be one of the 25 to 30 best players in this draft. Not many. This is a very bad interior line draft. If you're looking for anybody that's going to play a 1 or a 3 technique, you're in trouble.
Is he a long-term answer for them in the middle of that defensive line?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I think he can be.
Okay. They don't have a third-round pick, don't have a fourth-round pick. Get down to the fifth round at 160 overall. They're taking Trey McKinney, the tight end out of Georgia, also formerly of Florida State.
This is a guy that fits this offense, in my opinion. A height, weight, speed guy, 6'5", 245, more of a wide receiver than he is really a tight end. And in this offense, that's fine because they're predicated on getting the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands, getting the ball to the playmakers, and go. I think he can be a tight end, and I saw flashes of him at Georgia. He had 2 tremendous games in 2020, and I think he's faster than a lot of people do. He's very fast for a tight end. He's not Darren Waller fast. You're going to hear that. But he's got a great catch radius. I think he would be a weapon. And there's not a lot of teams that I see him as a natural fit. I see him as a fit with the Arizona Cardinals.
Hands are definitely the best thing about Trey McKinney's game.
100%.
In my opinion.
He has great hands.
In the 6th round, KJ Brit, a linebacker out of Auburn.
Unfortunately for him, he was born in 2000-ish.
Right.
This is a guy that would have been tremendous in the NFL in about 1975 because he's 6 foot 243 and he's built like a brick shithouse. I mean, he's just a thick kid, but he's not overly agile. I don't know that he's ever going to be good in coverage. He wasn't asked to do much in coverage at Auburn, and his grade was middling. some injury issues, but this is a guy that can really hit. I mean, this is a guy, if you want a linebacker that can light somebody up, KJ Brit can do it. I don't know how he fits in the modern scheme of offense, but he is a guy that I could see you ultimately having next to Isaiah Simmons, because he's a smaller linebacker that's just freakishly athletic, but he doesn't necessarily bring that pop. Brit brings that pop, can lay the wood, and I think he could fit in this defense.
At number 243 overall, you got him taking now an offensive lineman, the center out of Georgia, Trey Hill.
This is a guy that I actually like a lot of the tape on. The biggest thing with him is he's going to have to remake his body. He's going to have to get into a big boy NFL strength and conditioning and a big boy dietary program, because he's 330, but it's not a good 330. He's a doughy 330. And he's very strong. And to me, the technique's actually not bad. His hands are a little late. He's a little upright in the stance. And he's not freakishly athletic. But I think one of the things I will say is that I think if he remakes his body, a lot of those things could change. He's one of those guys that's big, been big his entire life, and just kind of steered into the skid. And then he got freakishly strong, and he's been one of the best centers in the country for 2 years. I think he can play guard or center. He's versatile getting to the league. Just a guy that you're going to have to work with, and you're going to have to watch the weight on. That is one thing. One of the things that scares me the most about Trey Hill, one of the reasons he falls this late, is I'm afraid getting to the NFL, some guys eat their way out of the league. And this is a guy that got very big at Georgia. With
their final pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, you got him taking Chris Brown, the safety out of Texas.
This is a guy that got overshadowed by Caden Stearns at Texas. And I look at Chris Brown, and I can see a slot corner. I can see a safety. He's lined up everywhere. He's a freak athlete. And I look at Arizona, and I have no doubts they're going to score points. None. My question is, can you stop people from scoring points? Can you keep the offense off the field for a minute? Can you get stops? Can you get to media timeouts? Because this team's going to play really fast. Having this many receivers, having this many weapons, they're going to play fast. Can you get stops? Can you get stops when you need to get stops? And this is a guy that I look at that he's a little small. I think if Chris Brown was 6'1", 195, 200 pounds, I would say he's probably a late day 2, early day 3 pick. He's going to fall to the 7th round just because he's a little bit small. Doesn't have he's got very long arms. Yeah, he does have very long arms. That's one thing I will say about him. Reads well in the flat, not super rangy. And I feel like I say that about every safety in this class. Somebody's going to learn to be rangy. Not every safety taken in a draft class can be a box safety.
Right.
But that seems to be what we're trying to put them all in. I like this kid. I'm just a little afraid that he's going to have to be a better tackler. He's going to have to, I think, bulk up, and I just hope that doesn't make him even more limited range-wise. That's how I wanted to say that.
Only 6 picks in the 2021 NFL Draft as it stands for the Arizona Cardinals. Big chance to make a big leap in this draft, and I think Greg Newsome, I think you're right. I think you're right not going with the offensive lineman in the first round. Going with Greg Newsome, bolstering that secondary is a great way to establish yourself as one of the contenders, not only in your division in the NFC West, but also in the NFC.
Best team in the NFC. We're doing it again.
I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. We appreciate you joining us here in the Wicked Weed studio. And don't forget, join us in the studio for all 3 days of the NFL Draft, starting with the coverage at 7 o'clock this Thursday night. We'll have all of our instant analysis. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get all of the draft prep leading up to 7-round mock drafts for every NFL team right here in the Sportsocracy. We'll see you next time.